Hi, I'm Mark Yaxley, General Manager for Strategic Wealth Preservation. Welcome back to Inside the Vault. Today we're talking about all the different ways that you can keep your precious metals safe, whether it be at home, inside of a bank, or at a private storage facility. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of each and answer a bunch of questions that you may have. So let's get started. So the first thing you're probably wondering is it safe to store my precious metals at home? I think fundamentally speaking, the concept of precious metals is creating security for yourself and for your family. So having some precious metals at home is a good idea. The question becomes, how much should you store at your home before you consider, it becoming a security risk? So is there a threshold or an amount that you should keep at home? Personally speaking, my threshold is about $10,000 before I start to get a little bit nervous about keeping it under the mattress. The second thing that you want to keep in mind is the physical security of your home or your apartment that you might live in. If it's not a secure place or you've had a history of break-in enterings in your neighborhood, for example, you're probably not going to want to store too many precious metals, in the house. And to complement that is the fact that you probably won't be able to get home insurance that's going to cover the value of your precious metals in case they're stolen. So you can contact your insurance company and ask, but from my experience, it's very difficult to insure precious metals stored at home. So the next option would probably be the local bank. A lot of people tend to keep valuables that they don't want to store at home inside of a safe deposit box at the local bank. A bank is a relatively safe place. It's physically secure, and they do have protocols in place to make sure that things don't go missing, of course. The problem that I have with banks is that anything kept inside of a safe deposit box, again, is uninsured by the bank. It is possible to get private insurance for certain items that you store in safe deposit boxes, but again, it can be challenging for private people to do that. So I recommend you speak to your insurance company and see if it's possible. But from my experience, it can be difficult. So you may want to consider, instead of renting a safe deposit box from your local bank, renting a safe deposit box or some general storage from a secure storage facility designed for precious metal storage. The primary advantage of storing your precious metals in a storage facility that's designed specifically for precious metal storage is obviously the physical security. These are bunkers, class 3 vaults, sometimes with other safes within those vaults. Physically speaking, very secure. They've got all the bells and whistles that will keep the bad guys out of the building. More importantly though is the underlying insurance policy that protects and insures all the assets that are stored within that storage facility. So if something does go wrong, if there's theft, or if there's a disaster, if something goes missing, those metals are going to be insured within the storage facility. So ultimately, you've got both physical security and then you've got the underlying insurance to protect you against anything that might go wrong. One thing that you're going to want to give some thought to as you choose a secure storage facility is if that facility offers you liquidity for your precious metals. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about that in another episode called Going Global. But generally speaking, the concept here is if you choose a facility, you're going to want to make sure that they're also able to buy your precious metals from you, or they have a precious metals dealer that can make a market for your precious metals. That way you don't have to have your metals shipped back to you or go pick them up in the case that you want to liquidate them. There are different types of storage options available within a storage facility. First of all, you have the most traditional option, which is the safe deposit box. So you can rent a safe deposit box just like you would at the bank. You'll receive 2 keys. So those keys will be required when you want to enter, deposit, or subtract from your box. It's kind of a double-edged sword in my mind though, because that means you physically have to be present in order to deposit or withdraw from your box, unless you appoint another authorized third party to do it on your behalf. So it's something for you to consider. The method that I recommend, or that most of our clients use, is the segregated allocated version, where basically we provide them with a bin or a box that's secure and segregated from everyone else's assets that are stored within the facility. So basically your bars and coins go in their own box, which is sealed and placed on a shelf, segregated from anyone else's assets. Beyond those 2 options, you also have the ability within some facilities to rent private safes. So if you want to have your own safe, which is basically a large version of a safe deposit box, you can also rent that and store your assets within that private safe inside of the vault. So it's basically a double layer of security there. Beyond that, if you have enough silver, for example, some facilities will just strictly rent you a pallet or several pallets, and you can stack your silver up as high as you'd like. Obviously, there are many different ways that you can store your precious metals. If you have any questions at all, feel free to contact us at info@swpcayman.com, or you can tweet me. Until next time, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again inside the vault.